place overall. He is 19 points back of Jorgen Gudmundsson for fourth.
10 seconds.
Velner is done, way ahead of Hopper on the sandbag carry, and Velner working his way back to the rope. Fikowski is now sort of in the middle of the pack. Velner first back to the rope climbs.
Velner's already got one rope climb in the bag as the rest of the field gets to it. And the question is where to push in the round and where to really push throughout the event. And it is here on the rope climbs because they're high, they're the most taxing movement we have in this triplet. And so to really put all your intensity in here, because if you can limit your time in between reps, you can ski at a 10-second slower pace and be almost totally fine going into the second or into that stone carry.
Jorgen Carl Gudmundsson is struggling in this event right now. He's in 11th place overall. We mentioned that Velner only trails him by 19 points. The difference between 11th and first is 30. But Velner can erase that in one event. Pat Velner continues to lead, 29 reps. That's what he needs to hit, and then he'll move back to the sandbag, trying to hold off Jonakoski, Scott Pancic, Heinrich Happelainen, and Brent Fikowski. Jason Hopper is also in that mix. It is close right now for the lead.
And this is the big round, the round that turns the tide when you think about a 4-round event. It's the hardest one to keep your mind in the game, to keep your composure, because you just got halfway. You have a whole nother round after this. You got to make sure is that you keep the intensity going, not fully down just yet, because you do have to save something for the end.
Pat Velner continuing to lead here in round 3 of 4. He is on the right of your screen. Velner once again started off with that 35th place finish in the opening event. Since then, he's gone 1st, 3rd, and 7th, looking for his second event win of this competition and maybe trying to put himself in the top 3.
Fikowski's putting a lot more intensity into the skis on the left side of your screen in the leader jersey. And I know that because he just skied the sunglasses off about halfway through. So Fikowski may be trying to make a move here in the middle of the 3rd round.
Pat Velner just about done. Fikowski is on his final 100, as is Jonakoski in the middle of your screen. Velner is finished, and he is the first man off. So he is leaving Jason Hopper, who has been challenging him on the last couple of rounds, well behind him. Velner will get to the sandbag before anyone else is even off the ski. Here goes Brent Fikowski.
And he's much closer to Velner after the 3rd round than he was after the 2nd. The question is, how much does he have left for the final round?
Fikowski has the bag down. He's still in 2nd. Koski and Medeiros have both picked up their sandbags. They are moving from left to right on your screen. Koski closest to the camera. Medeiros just dropping off his sandbag. Velner is back on the rope. Fikowski is ahead of the 2 men directly behind him in the overall leaderboard. So looking to keep those guys in his wake. But Pat Velner is looking to gain some ground on the top 4 men in the overall standings.
He's got one rope climb on Fikowski. Now what Fikowski's doing is he's cycling a hair faster than Velner is. And watch Fikowski on his descent. He'll keep his hands on the rope and go right back into it.
Let's go down to Mike Arsenault.
Guys, during a competition, Brent Fikowski is known for going radio silent, but I was able to email back and forth with his wife Claire yesterday to find out how he spent the rest day. Like most athletes, he got a massage and lots of sleep. But Brent also spent time in a sensory deprivation chamber. I asked her why. Well, as we all know, Brent is exceptionally analytical, and this is the only way that he can turn his brain off, which is what he needs to recover. So if he keeps that white jersey on, he might be back in the tank tonight.
Well, if he wants to keep that white jersey, he has to push the last 500 meters of this ski. You're not going to put yourself in a bad position to not be able to carry that stone the last 42 feet. It's all going to come down to this last 500 meters.
12:01.53. That is the time to beat Royce Dunn that did that in heat number 1. Pat Velner and Brent Fikowski fighting for the lead right now in this final heat. Heinrich Happelainen got to the ski about the same time as Brent Fikowski, maybe a little bit ahead of him. Hämäläinen, a rookie out of Helsinki, Finland. Velder with inside 300 meters to go on his ski. 39, that's the reps he's got to hit on the top of your screen. Hämäläinen 15th overall coming into this event.
Ski at the end is just brutal. It's just a brutal piece of equipment to begin with. But after 16 rope climbs, 1,500 meters of skiing up to this point, there's not a lot left in the arms, which is why you see these athletes just driving their chest into the ground as hard as they can with their arms straight and as reached up as possible to get anything they have left out of their bodies.
Velder inside 100 meters now, as is Brent Fikowski. Medeiros, Hämäläinen, and Koski fighting for third. 12:01.53, that's the time to beat. Velder's off. Velder to the sandbag for the final time. Here comes Brent Fikowski. And Pat Velder will pick up his second event win, and someone's climbed out of the hole. Justin Medeiros just got to the sandbag. Brent Fikowski is in. Medeiros will not be able to pick up points on Fikowski. Medeiros will come in third. Heinrich Hämäläinen looking to pass Koski. And Hämäläinen is in just ahead, so a race between two Finns there. As Scott Panchik came across, 6th in the heat, 7th in the event for Panchik. Saxon Panchik is in. And here comes Alex Vigneault. Bjorn Carl Gudmundsson is in. Gudmundsson will finish in 11th in the event. Velder will leapfrog him in the overall standings. Here's Alex Vigneault and Jason Smith on the left of your screen getting to his sandbag. Meanwhile, Jason Hopper,
look at that,
is way in the back. Baden Brown, Andre Houdet, Smith, and Noah Olsen have all finished. Noah Olsen, 15th in the heat, 23rd in the event, so the wheels came off for Jason Hopper.
A little too soon, Junior. Round number 1. Way too hot. And when you think about rope climbs specifically, you can blow yourself up to keep yourself from climbing a rope because it's grip intensive, it's pull intensive. And if you come out with way too much intensity in round number 1, which clearly happened to Hopper, that's rookie stuff. Right? That's things you see from new guys.
Guy Harris, Crouch, Cournoyer, who thought he would do well in this event, just came in. He finished 28th in the event as Jason Hopper is struggling with the sandbag, and Hopper just doesn't have anything left in his arms. He is the last man on the field, and he is struggling with this sandbag. 1 minute to go before we hit the time cap. The crowd trying to get behind Jason Hopper and help him across the finish line. And Hopper topples over and will finish in 33rd place in this event. But it's Pat Velder who picks up his second event win of the competition.
I don't know, if I'm Pat Velder, I'd like to have the rest of the events at the North Park, please.
Brent Fikowski still your overall leader. He widens his lead on Justin Medeiros. He now has a 15-point cushion. Koski will stay in third, but Velder moves up 1 spot. He swaps places with Bjorn Carl Gudmundsson. Velder at 388 now, just 7 back on Koski for the top 3. Men are done. Women coming up next here in the North Park. Stay with us at the 2021 Noble CrossFit Games. Center in Madison, Wisconsin, as we continue day 2 of competition for the individuals of the 2021 Noble CrossFit Games. Classic CrossFit triplet, a little juice to it.
Just add a little bit of the juice. What we're going to do is we're going to add 5 feet to the rope climbs of a traditional 15-foot rope climb, and the women are going to ski 400 meters. But again, one of the heaviest sandbags we've ever seen in CrossFit competition, with one of the most unique shapes we've ever seen for a sandbag.
Second and final heat is underway, 12:33.31.